So what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And we're back once again for another update coming straight from scottgames.com. Now, once again, we're seeing the same thank you image, and it seems like the community is much more observant. We were very quick to actually see this second Endoskeleton change, and that is, of course, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Endoskeleton has now changed into the similar format of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 version. That is a plush trap, smaller version.
Yeah, it's strange how Scott's actually doing this so daily now as well. I don't know if it's going to end here or if he's going to change any more, but obviously we're going to find out in the future. But he's obviously got a lot of people checking the website every single second now, so...
Absolutely, and it's a very good idea of him because it's bringing the game back into light, and it's really intriguing just the community in general, because these are these two animatronics, or endoskeletons should I say, that we really didn't know a whole lot about, and I think everyone's getting a bit eager to find out what Scott is truly planning for us all.
So yeah, pretty much Scott has changed the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Endoskeleton. All that's really changed with this Endoskeleton is the fact that he is a lot smaller. Still, he seems to be a lot taller than the original Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Endoskeleton, but yeah, they're still quite small, like a plush trap kind of size.
Yeah, which is very interesting, and we have to go by the facts before we go into the speculation for this guy. I think the first thing that stuck out to me was the fact that this smaller Endoskeleton character is actually possessing the ears also, which we also saw in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and this means several things as to who this Endoskeleton might belong to. Yes,
the ears are very similar to Freddy. If we look at Freddy, all along the generations of Freddy's, they all have the same kind of ear type that stick out at a 45-degree angle.
Absolutely, yeah, and another key characteristic as well is the slightly turquoise-coloured eyes. It seems like the blue eyes are very unique to the Freddy Fazbear generation. And another thing which is kind of piquing my interest is the fact that both of these endoskeletons seem to be situated almost in a Freddy Fazbear zone, meaning maybe these two endoskeletons could have belonged to some kind of Freddy-based character.
Definitely so, yeah.
So now with us seeing these two guys and really them not having a whole lot of backstory, it comes into speculation in terms of trying to figure out where these guys could actually originate from or what Scott might be planning. And the first thing I think I want to pick up on is it seems highly likely that these guys may actually be relating back to the Fun with Plush Trap minigame, or at least tied in with the Plush Trap character, because of course the size proportions, also the enlarged eyes, it seems like they're going to be some kind of plushy based character.
Yeah, definitely. As we know, the Plush Trap minigame really wasn't relevant to the story. It was just a way to advance through time in the actual game itself. So it makes sense that Scott's actually changing these endoskeletons to not really affect the storyline in a way, but to obviously, really if you think about it, the endoskeletons didn't affect the storyline at all. Like when we saw the puppet go from the actual gift box, sometimes we'd see this endoskeleton appear in the gift corner and also in the left vent. And other than that, he didn't really do much. He didn't advance the storyline at all. But yeah, it's a nice way for Scott to kind of include the endoskeletons into the game more, I suppose.
I think knowing the backstory of these two characters as well, what these endoskeletons might actually represent, it won't really change the story as a whole anyway. So, you know, the community has always been interested as to what these endoskeletons may be representing in terms of the Freddy Fazbear's establishment, or who they might actually belong to, and maybe answering this question, as I've said before, won't change the storyline, but might also put some more theories which we've all been speculating over the past few months to rest.
Yeah, I mean, these guys could possibly have been actual endoskeletons. If we were to be speculative about this, they could have actually been some form of endoskeleton, like we said with the previous plush endoskeleton, but they didn't see the light of day for some unknown reason.
Which is quite interesting, really, because, you know, it's quite clear these guys don't have any form of outer shell, and that must mean one thing, that they must have been scrapped mid-design, or maybe they were just some extras and they never got to see the light of day, because looking at this plush trap character in the bottom left-hand corner, he definitely looks a little bit withered and the colours look slightly off, so we could possibly say that maybe he is there to represent the first generation of these smaller endoskeleton-based characters, and maybe these two were also built but never really put in the limelight and never really got to see the Freddy Fazbear's pizza establishments and walk around them.
Yeah, so maybe if Scott wants to, like you say, lay the story to rest, he could possibly say why these characters are in the game, give them a little bit of backstory and as to why they're there, and etc, etc.
Exactly, and I mean, we've got to look at these guys too. They do look pretty pristine, to say the least, and with Scott actually starting to build on these endoskeletons, or should I say change them, it does make me start to think other things, and I think the community is now starting to speculate if these guys will actually get some form of an outer shell, which may actually relate these guys back to a specific character in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which also might be interesting as well, because say, for example, if we see one of these guys dressed up in one of the mascot's characters' uniforms, this might actually mean that one of the endoskeletons, that is the full-size ones in the previous games, might have actually been of that sort of build as well. So this might actually reveal who these endoskeletons truly belong to.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if these characters are actually going to be entwined into the Fun with Plush Trap minigame, then we are definitely going to have to see a new location, unless Scott uses the multiple doors to create some kind of new game function. It just doesn't seem like they're all going to fit in that small little hallway.
Absolutely, and I mean, you've got to think as well, the Fun with Plush Trap area is kind of very small, it's very compact, and there's not really a whole lot you can do other than shine the light, and I don't think looking around the place would really offer much more to that sort of game, so maybe it might actually base us in several different establishments, or at least a location where we have limited movement, but maybe we could move around, and maybe we have to fend these guys off. For all we know, it could be almost like a mini Five Nights at Freddy's game with these 3 characters interacting with us, but we have a lot to see, and I'm pretty sure if Scott is updating these images almost daily, we might be getting a lot more revealed very soon.
Definitely.
So there we have it, guys. That was, of course, talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 smaller endoskeleton, which has now been inserted into the thank you image on scottgames.com. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and of course, be sure to comment down below any of your thoughts in relation to what this character might actually mean for the Five Nights at Freddy's update.
If you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below, and if you're new to the channel, why not subscribe for more interesting videos like this, and also some gameplays.
So thank you very much for watching the video, guys. We do hope you did enjoy, and we'll, of course, see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys!
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?